Hey everyone, Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys an old school album review, and I'm throwing this back for one of my all-time favorite bands, and well, this is I'm sort of reviewing one of their older albums that came out in '08. And as you can see below the title, today we're going to be looking into All Hope Is Gone by Slipknot. This is the band's fourth album, released on August 26th, 2008 through Roadrunner Records. I might just talk about the special edition. As you can see, it is also signed by Corey Taylor himself. But yeah, let's just dive right into this. Band's fourth album, follow-up to Volume 3, The Subliminal Verses, which came out in 2004. And the one thing to say about this CD is very different from other Slipknot albums. From when I first heard it. I mean, they've become more like technical with their guitar solos, especially I feel like since Volume 3 added, it was the first album to have a little bit of guitar solos, but I feel like it's a little bit more prominent on this album. And as well as like longer songs. Yeah, just feel like they sacrificed some heaviness, a shitload of heaviness. And I just don't feel like one of the things I still know a lot of people. A lot of people have like gripes with this album, like it's sort of like the lack of like heaviness. I just don't feel like the power of the guitars like on any other albums. But Corey's vocals are kind of like different. Like on Volume 3, are more higher and stuff. But then I feel like on All Hope Is Gone, he changed it to more like low guttural stuff. But yeah, and of course like there's like 9 dudes in the band, and this is the last album with the original 9 lineup since first album to there. Since after this album, of course, 2010, we lost Paul Gray, their bass player, to drugs and alcohol, and Holland overdose, and Joey Jordison left in 2013, and of course, this past March or so, Chris Vane left the band because of a money dispute, and heard he's suing the band, which is bullshit. But anyway, let's just look into each individual member. Of course, number 0, Sid Wilson. And I feel like with this album, he's barely noticeable until like the second half of the album. He pops up like here and there and does some great work on some songs. Joey Jordison, still as fast as ever, and his the main drummer for Slipknot, and he honestly feel like he needs more recognition. I know a lot of people think he's overrated, but I just like his furious bass beats and lightning pedal work. Paul Gray, yeah, rest in peace. You could rarely hear it at all. It's a shame, really. Craig 133 uses it even less than Sid. You can't even tell where he's actually part of the song or not. And of course, Sean and Chris, like the mad pair here and just using sparingly, but if you do hear them, they complement the tune so well and provide skull-crushing beats, and their backing vocals are pretty good as well. And the guitar work from Jim Root and Mick Thompson, and these guys take center stage for this album. Inspired riffage and all over the place, the Slayer. And the vocals from Corey Taylor are just nothing but brilliant most times. And it's usual for Corey's voice. He doesn't sound like as pissed off as he does in like fucking Iowa or some. So 1 or 2 times you hear his old voice coming back, and a lot more melody in his voice, which stands out the most on this CD. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive into this track by track. Now starting off is the little intro called Execute, which is just an opening track. One of Slipknot's weird things before the song. It's here you see you hear Sid and Craig at their best, as well as like Clown, Chris, and Joey, and Corey is whispering in the background. It's a good mood setter, and then it dives into the next track being Gematria, the Killing Name, which has some very thrashy riffs that littered the song, and they're definitely some of the original ones. Nice and heavy all the way through, and this song has a great guitar solo battle between Jim and Mick, and Joey's drumming is a highlight. Right, simply put, how much fucking stamina this dude has got. And Corey's voice is great. No melody, just balls out Corey. And this song has a brilliant chorus, and it's just like shouting like, "What if God doesn't care? And we will burn your cities down." A brilliant song. Next song on here is Sulfur, which is a pretty good song. It's just damn catchy. Corey shows why he's such a renowned vocalist with some amazing vocals, and the chorus is brilliant, though a little reminds you a little bit of Stone Sour as Corey sings like breathing in sulfur. And Mick and Jim show us some great riffs, keeping it thresh throughout with harmonized riff. So I loved like the chorus riffs, and you can hear like Sid like scratching here and there between the solos, which is always a plus. And then we go into Psychosocial, which is in my opinion, probably the best song on the album and the first single that was released from here, All Hope Is Gone. And I feel like this was like Slipknot's new mainstream anthem at the time, next to Duality and Before I Forget. Simple main riff, but very catchy. And Corey's lyrics are very memorable, and you know the words just after a few listens. The solo is the best in the album. And the bridge has the shout out as Corey screaming the limits of the dead with I can't even speak today, fuck. Clown and Chris on their drums, providing a great drum beat to it. Overall, a great performance from everyone and a fantastic song. Dead Memories, which is, I feel like Slipknot's balladish kind of thing. I know Slipknot doesn't do ballads and never did, but they haven't gone soft. I did tell you the CD was kind of different compared to other albums. But as Corey said itself, it's just as weird and experimental as it was on like Volume 3. And this song does grow on you. It's very catchy, and Corey doesn't even do screaming, it's just singing. And Joey has a little restrained. Obviously, it's not a heavy song, but he helps carry it, makes it interesting. Jim and Mick pop up here and there, some harmonies that worth, and the solo does have some real emotion to it too. So well done. Vendetta. This song is very different and does belong more on like a Stone Sour album. I'm not too big on this. The riffs are just kind of nothing special. Joey's like obviously not comfortable with the song though. If it starts off fine, but you could tell he's begging to obliterate his double bass any minute now. And the thing that really got me was in the middle of the song where Slipknot sort of like did something I was hoping to never do, chanting hey hey hey, and really you think if they did it would have been at least ballsy and angry, but it's just not. I just feel like this song is just half-assed. Anyway, moving on to Butcher's Hook. With a name like this, you would probably expect disgusting lyrics, aggressive vocals, loud guitars, thundering percussion, and Sid and Craig adding their bits, but it's just not happening here though. Though Sid is heard more on this record as is Craig, but unfortunately it doesn't save the song. And the guitar riffs are really weird, but not in a good way. And they actually get annoying and monotonous after the first 2 minutes. And this is the first time you'll hear actually Paul's bass, which is a good thing, but then again, it doesn't save the song, which just quite average. Genna. This song is probably the worst on the album. He's too hard to match the weirdness and build up. Some of the tracks kind of like older stuff like Prosthetics, Gently, or Virus of Light. While these tracks are brilliant and doing that, I feel like this song just fails particularly. And Mick and Jim's guitars aren't anything to write home about, and Joey just sounds bored. Right, and I feel like he's just like adding fills in desperation, therefore adding them to the worst places. And Corey, I will say that the Corey does well with the lyrics and phrases like "Bring my severed eyes, bring me with you, I want it." But again, it just doesn't save the song. Anyway, moving on to This Cold Black. Now, this is more like it, more like the old Slipknot coming through. And Mick and Jim's riffs sound like something from Volume 3 or Iowa, which isn't a bad thing. Solo isn't bad, and Joey, he can finally breathe as he unleashes some monstrous double bass and a few extras. And Chris and Clown are cracking skulls on this one, battering their kegs and snares with Joey and screaming their guts out with the backing vocals. Wherein Lies continue. This one doesn't get going properly until well into the song, and this one is just an all build-up with Paul muted riffs throughout, a little teasing, aggressive vocals, and guitar lines keeping you on your seat waiting. And the chorus is sung, which makes it great. And then there's like a breakdown between like 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And this just gets back to teasing you back and forth to the end. Very, very cleverly structured and a very good track, which leaves you quite tense. Anyway, next song on the album is called Snuff. And if anybody believed that Slipknot would never make a song that would make you cry, they would prove you wrong with this one. And this song lyrically I feel like is about a song about losing a loved one. And it almost feels like this should have been a Stone Sour song really, but I don't know. I mean, but it's actually a really great song. And then we go into the title track of the album, All Hope Is Gone, and they saved the best for the last. This is the future Slipknot right here, insanely heavy with Joey going nuts and unleashing barrages of blast beats, double bass, and Chris and Clown like joining the armies of hell marching forth, and the guitars just destroying with sizzling like thrash riffs and a mathcore style verse too, and the solo is complete frenzy. And just shouting the lyrics right there, and you could just imagine this one live. And they've only played this song live once in 2008, but they just haven't played that live since, which is weird. And of course, that's it for the standard edition. Now, unless you have the deluxe edition like I have, it has 3 bonus tracks, which is Child of Burning Time, which I think honestly these bonus tracks are kind of filler, which are kind of Child of Burning Time is okay, nothing really special. And it has a remix of Vermilion Part 2 from Volume 3 of Slipknot Verses, which I don't really care that much. Until We Die, which that song is garbage. Now, overall, All Hope Is Gone by Slipknot is a very different album. It's feel like it's like kind of similar to Volume 3, but I feel like All Hope Is Gone sort of like experiments even more. So if I have to give this album a score, I'm going to give this a solid 7.5 out of 10. So yep, that's my review of All Hope Is Gone, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.